Hi there, it's Mr. Ong here from St Andrews Christian College, and today I'm going to be talking about using a website to create posters. All right, so this is for the Year 5 and 6 project, and but really anyone can do it. It's, this website I'm using I've used a few times to create posters that you might have seen in the IT lab here, and I've given a few examples in the blog post in the hub. All right, so this website we'll be looking at is called postermywall.com. All right, and it looks something like this when you log in. All right, so here you can see some of the posters I've done um, that are all mostly up in the classroom. Some of them may not be. Okay, and the great thing about this website is it's free and it really is very easy to create posters using graphics that you can get from Google or elsewhere. All right, now what you'll do is when you log in, you don't have to log in with the username and password. You just log in with the um, classroom project. Okay, so we'll either be SA5 Minecraft or SA6 Minecraft. Anyway, the details are in the blog post. All right, so just to show you how to use the website, um, you might not have any designs yet if you haven't done any, but you click on the new button, okay, and you should select design. Okay, now this should open up the template browser. Okay, now the great thing about templates is, what you have to do is just find one that you like, and then you can then change the text or the graphics or some of the layout. Okay, so with some of the Minecraft ones I did, I just searched for Minecraft, and there just so happens to be quite a few. Okay, let me just show you. All right, so I think I used this one for my no PvP poster. Although I might have got rid of those bricks in the background and just had solid green. I used this one for my settings. Okay, that's someone's birthday invitation. And as you can see, there's quite a few to choose from. Now, it doesn't have to be exactly what you want, but it might just have a few elements that you want to use. Okay, um, so for example, if you liked this kind of one here, what you do is you click on it, it gives you a slightly bigger version, and you can think, okay, yeah, this one looks pretty good, except I won't have a birthday party invitation. I'll change that bit in the middle, and maybe I'll change a few other things as well. Okay, so these are all customizable. Okay, so you would then click on the customize template, which is really the only option here, apart from close, and then it will load that template. All right, it's coming. All right, here we go. All right, so now what you can do is as you click on each of the elements, you can see that there's a graphic there. So if you click and drag it, oh, I've got to unlock it. Okay, so there's a little unlock button over here. See this one? All right, now it should have that box around it, and you can see that this is one graphic with a transparent background. Okay, now you can drag the corners to make it bigger or smaller. You can use the top one to rotate, and there's even a link to replace the photo. Okay, so obviously you would want to replace it with something with a transparent background as well. All right, so yeah, that's what you can do there. There are also other options. Okay, so for example, if I didn't want Steve in the picture here and I didn't want to just move it off to the side, what you can do is there's a crop option. Okay, so the crop option lets you move these things here so that you cut out certain bits of your picture. All right, so let's just say, maybe I just do the pig. All right, so if I want to adjust the pig, I would crop everyone else out of the picture. And I might even be able to, let's see how this goes first. All right, so there we go. I've got the pig pretty much isolated there. And then click the crop button. Okay, and now I've got just the pig. It's a little bit bigger than normal. And then you can adjust it a bit. Okay, nice and easy. Now there is also a way to, there's a few other options here as well, which you might want to play around with. Okay, so center back, you can choose the position, because sometimes you might want to make some of the elements on the page to bring it forward to be in front of the picture. Okay, so that's when you would use the button bring to front. See how that's kind of brought that shape in front of the pig now. So you might want to, kind of hide pictures behind things or just layer things in a certain way. All right, bring to front. Oh, I've got to unlock it as well. All right, see how there's there's a couple of layers there, so you might have to do the same thing for a couple of the layers. That's the green layer, and that's probably the yellow layer. All right, there you go. All right, so that's an example of using some of the controls there for the images. All right, there's also a mask option, which I might get to a bit later. Oh, and there's also edge effects, quite a few things you can play around with here. All right, but pretty much every element on this page is editable. Okay, so, well, unless it's part of the background. Oh, this one's locked as well. Okay, so you might notice here this one. All right, so this bit has got Minecraft plus part of the grass block here. Okay, so you might need to, well, sometimes the text is separate, but in this case here, that picture includes both the Minecraft text and the grass block background. Okay, so this one here, let's see what this one is. All right, so that's the inside shape, and then you got text for each of the invitation parts as well. Okay, so got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 bits of text there. Okay, so if you didn't want those, it's easy. Just select, click delete, or backspace. All right, get rid of these ones. I'm obviously not going to have a birthday party invitation. It's part of our poster. All right, maybe you don't like that shape either. Don't like that one, don't like that one, don't like that one. All right, so, and obviously there's a piece back here as well. Hold on, I've got to unlock this too. Okay, so there's kind of 3 pieces for the grass block. Oh no, 4. I'm not sure why they did it that way, but maybe they wanted to make it nice and big. Okay. So now, if you wanted to add your own text or your own pictures, you can do that too. Now, as I've mentioned before, when you're searching for pictures on Google or other search engines, you do have to be quite careful with what your what search terms you search for, because there's a lot of inappropriate stuff out there. All right, but if you click on photo, you've got a few options here. You can add from your photos, and they're ones you would upload. Okay, like we did with some of the projects we did last year from scratch. There's also one for add stock photo. Now, stock photos are basically free photos. Most of them, yeah, they should all be. Obviously, we don't want to pay for photos, but they'll be free photos. Okay, so, and I'm pretty sure when I searched for Minecraft theme photos, I didn't really get much. No results for Minecraft. All right, so let's say I wanted to find pig. Why? All right, here we go. Here's some stock photos. Oh, this one's from the movie Babe, I think. So these photos are free to use. Now, Obviously with the poster, you probably want, well, it depends if it's a background or if it's one of the pictures in your foreground. You might want to try and find one with a nice clean background. Okay, oh, agreement, yeah, okay, agree. There's my photo. All right, now this is probably not the ideal, but I can crop it and maybe I'll see if I can make the white background transparent here. Okay, so I'm going to crop first so I can get that bit of text out. Oh, that was lucky. All right, so here we go. Crop, crop, crop. Why would I want a real pig in my Minecraft? Doesn't matter. All right. Yep. Okay. So now we want to mask out the white. I should have prepared this a bit earlier. All right. Now let's see if this works. I think I've got to click on the white background. All right. Pause video. Okay. I've abandoned the mask attempt, and instead, if you scroll down, you'll see there's a remove color option. Okay, now this probably wasn't the best photo, but nothing like a live recording to make mistakes here. All right, so if you turn on the remove color, what you can do is, I think it tries to guess which color to remove, but you can adjust the tolerance, because the first time I tried it, it didn't look too good. It looked like a bit like that. Okay, so most of the pig was missing because there's a lot of white elements inside the pig. So when it tries to remove the white, it removed too much. Now the tolerance level is kind of like how close to white do we want the color to be removed. All right, so the higher you make it, the more white and close to white colors get removed. So I think if I put it at 3, yeah, that's not bad. Okay, so most of it's removed there. But if you can look for a picture that has more contrast between the picture and the background, then that's obviously the ideal. All right, now that's for if you want to use one of the stock photos. Okay, you can also find other sources for photos, but the best source is the internet itself. Now, I'm recommending you use a site like this. This one's called kidssearch.com, and I'll put a link in the blog if I haven't already. All right, now this does a safe image search on Google. Okay, so it still has the results that you would get from Google, although the interface is a little bit different. All right, now I've just searched for Minecraft backgrounds in this one, and generally what we did last year when we did this was we'd click on an image and then right-click and download, but it doesn't quite work in this interface. You have to actually go to the website. Okay, so most of these should be safe websites like Minecraft.net. So you'd actually have to click on the link, then find the image. Oh, this one just happens to be at the top of the page here. Then you would right-click and select Save Image As. Okay, and maybe give it a proper name. Underwater. Okay, click Save. All right, now once I've done that, I can go back to my project, other tab, and now I think, okay, I don't want to keep any of this. I want to start pretty much from scratch. All right, so let's delete everything. Maybe everything except, oh yeah, I'll just delete everything. Maybe yeah. All right, let's delete everything. Okay, so click on Photos, Add from My Photos, and here's where I get to upload. You can see ones I've already uploaded already. Upload, and I would find that underwater background. Click Open, and if you only do one, you can actually upload several at a time. But if you only do one, then it automatically puts it into your project. Okay, I can use these little handles on the corners to expand it, make it bigger. Alright, see what I'm doing here? Now you might have to move it around in order to grab the handles. And then you want to obviously move around to the bit that you want to put into your poster. So let's just say I wanted that section there. There's a bit of white space down the bottom here, so I need to make it a little bit taller. Alright, so if I wanted to fill the whole background, then obviously I need to adjust which bit I want to see of the picture. Okay. Alright, don't know why I chose this one, but it's an example. Alright, so obviously that's the background now. I could then try and add other pictures to be in the foreground, which I tried to show you before. And you can also add text. Okay, now I'll show you the easy text one. There's a text tool over here, which I'll click on. And you get a few options. You get fancy text and plain text. All right, let's go fancy. I think I used this once before. All right, now in fancy, you get to choose from a lot more different styles of fonts. And it gets me an hours just choosing fonts. I know, I've done it myself. All right, so let me just choose. That was not bad. All right, I'll just go with that one. Okay, so you click on this bit here where it says add your text, and you type in something like, oh man, Minecraft. No, I love digital tech. I'm sure you all want to put this one in. All right, add fancy text, and there you go. It's put it into my project, and I can move it around, make it bigger. There's probably a few other options here as well. Shadows, light shadow. Yeah, see light shadow. All right, let's make it a bit darker. Strong shadow. And you can also then choose the shadow color. All right. There we go. That one's got a white kind of. So maybe the shadow is it? That was the outline. Maybe there's no shadow color option. Anyway, there's a few things you can play with there. Okay, so the green must be the inside color, white is obviously the outline color, and the shadow is pretty much fixed. Oh, there's custom shadow. All right, so custom shadow allows you to choose the color of the shadow as well. Opacity. Opacity is how transparent the shadow is. Okay. Angle. Okay, so there's a few things you can play with there. All right, now that's pretty much it for the basics of doing these posters. You can try a few of these other options down here. There's clip art option, shapes. Okay, yeah, pretty boring shapes. I was hoping for. Oh no, there's some interesting ones there. All right, so there's lots of things you can do in here, and then the other important thing is to actually then save your project. All right, now if you click in this white space here, you should see the design properties. Okay, so some of these things you may or may not want to change. Now the size is probably important because we want to be able to print them out. Okay, so maybe choose A4 since that's what we use in Australia, and it's kind of resized it a bit so that it's yeah, there's a bit of space down the bottom here. All right, so you might need to maybe do this first. And then the title. Now the title is important because this is where you need to put your name. Now since you don't log in with username and password, the only way I know whose project it is if you actually put your name in here. Okay, so put your name in the title. Mr. Arms example. All right. Description's optional, but put in your name, and you might want to, if you're doing lots of them, then obviously you might want to put a bit extra detail here, like Mr. Arms underwater. Okay, and then you click the save button. And when you click the save button, 20 minutes, you get a few options. You can download it, which you probably want to do eventually. You don't have to do it straight away. Or you can share it on social media. Probably don't do that. If you click download, you get a few options. Now, I don't want to spend any money here, but there are paid options as well. So just if the free option's selected, you can then just click download and it will download it to your downloads folder. Okay, and that's it. Now, once you click save, it'll save into the my projects folder as well. So you don't need to download it in order to submit it to me. Okay, the only thing you need to do really is to click save and put your name on it. Alright, now I better stop there. This video is going for way too long. And one other thing I did want to show you was this website here. It's called TextCraft. Right now, if you weren't happy with the fancy text you can do in Post on My Wall, this particular website, which is very good, textcraft.net, and I've used it quite a bit, allows you to do Minecraft style text. Okay, so just to give you a quick example, you might put DT. Yeah, and then there's a few options, alright, so you can go click on some of these options, just extra big. Alright, and you can choose different styles of text. But when you click these styles, it doesn't automatically update until you click on one of these as well. Okay, so there we go, that one's kind of the brick block look. You don't have to have the 3D style view. Okay, see how it didn't update it until I click on one of these again. This one's more, rather than that kind of three-dimensional angled look, this one's a straighter style. Alright, and then there's heaps of other fonts in here that you can choose. It would take hours. Alright, and there's even more options here. Like I think I used this gold effect with the Treasure That Lasts poster. Alright, so you're going to go gold or diamond or whatever. Alright, now once you're done, you then just click the download button, and that's it. It downloads to your downloads folder, and then you can upload that into Post on My Wall. Alright, so let me just quickly show you that. Go to photos, add from my photos, upload photos, and all these ones are ones I've done in TextCraft. Here's my one I just did. Click open, and it should put it straight into my thing. There we go, and then I can do whatever I want with it. All right. Okay, so hopefully that gives you enough of an introduction to it so that you can use it. And yeah, let me know on the hub if you have any questions. And yeah, maybe I've missed something or made some terrible mistakes. Anyway, get back to me and I will try and answer it as soon as I can. All right. See you guys later. Bye.